Okay, so ready to unpack this wealth-building blueprint.
Let's do it.
Today we're diving into The Millionaire Master Plan by Roger James Hamilton.
Sounds good.
Now, before you roll your eyes thinking, ugh, another get-rich-quick scheme, hear me out.
Yeah,
This book is about a lot more than just money.
absolutely.
Like a lot more.
Yeah, it's about understanding the flow of value and leverage and recognizing the power of your own natural genius.
Okay, so tell me more about this whole natural genius thing.
Well, Hamilton argues that everyone has a unique genius,
Okay.
a natural strength that if you properly harness it can be the key to unlocking your potential.
So, like, everyone's got one of these.
Everyone.
Interesting.
And he breaks it down into 4 types.
Okay, let's hear it.
Dynamo, blaze, tempo, and steel.
I'm already intrigued.
Yeah.
How do I figure out which one I am?
Well, the book actually has a test to help you determine your genius type. But even beyond labels, it's about recognizing those inherent talents that you already possess and figuring out how to leverage those for success.
So it's not just about fitting into some predetermined mold.
Not all.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So where does this wealth lighthouse come in?
So the Wealth Lighthouse is Hamilton's framework for understanding the stages of wealth creation. There are 9 levels, and each level has its own specific challenges and opportunities.
So it's not like one of those overnight win the lottery kind of things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but
This is a journey, a steady climb that requires you to understand the underlying principles of wealth.
and speaking of journeys,
Yeah.
the book starts with a pretty relatable situation. Hamilton's own car getting repossessed.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
It's where he introduces the infrared level, the
Yeah.
very bottom of the wealth lighthouse, where you're in negative cash flow, just stressed and feeling stuck.
Yeah, I think we've all been there at some point.
Right.
Maybe not with the car repossession,
Yeah.
but definitely that feeling of financial pressure and overwhelm. Absolutely. And what's important is that he doesn't just leave you wallowing in that feeling.
Right.
He outlines 3 essential steps to climb out of infrared.
Okay, let me see.
Measure your money, commit to conduct, and do your duty.
All right, break those down for me. What do those steps actually look like in practice?
Sure. So measure your money is about understanding your current financial situation.
Okay.
Where your money is coming from and where it's going, commit to conduct, is about setting clear financial goals and making a commitment to achieving them.
Gotcha.
And do your duty is about taking action and doing what needs to be done, even when it's not fun.
Even when it's not glamorous.
Exactly.
I like how he uses those real-life examples from his own experience to make these steps feel doable.
Yeah.
He talks about committing to earning just $100 more each month.
Right.
Like those small, consistent actions that can really snowball over time.
Absolutely. He emphasizes that you don't need some big, grand, sweeping plan to get started.
Yeah.
It's about taking those small but consistent steps forward.
Okay, so once you've escaped that infrared state, what's next on this wealth lighthouse climb?
So that would be red level, which signifies positive cash flow.
Okay.
But it's about more than just paying bills.
Right.
It's about setting standards for yourself and, as Hamilton puts it, finding your flow.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
But what does it actually look like for the different genius types?
Well, for example, there's a story in the book about a tempo genius who finds success as a surgical assistant while pursuing medical technology research in their spare time.
Oh, wow.
They're using their natural talent for detail and precision in their current role while still working towards their long-term passion.
So even at this early stage, it's about more than just a paycheck.
Yeah.
It's about finding a path that aligns with your strengths and allows you to work towards a fulfilling career, even if it's not your ultimate goal.
Precisely. And that's a key theme throughout the book.
Okay.
It's not just about getting rich. It's about finding a path that allows you to thrive.
Okay, so you climb out of infrared, find your flow at red level. Where does the journey take you next?
The next stop is yellow level. This is where you become a player, independent, creating your own flow and having a real impact on your financial future.
That sounds promising.
Yeah.
But you mentioned a catch earlier, something about an octopus effect.
Yes.
Okay, tell me more.
This is where things can get tricky.
Uh-oh.
The octopus effect is what happens when you try to do everything yourself.
I've been there.
You're the central brain for all these projects, constantly juggling tasks, and it just becomes unsustainable.
Yeah, like trying to juggle a dozen flaming torches while riding a unicycle.
Exactly. It's a common trap, especially for entrepreneurs early on.
Right.
And the book delves into strategies for overcoming this effect, which we'll explore more later on.
Okay, so we've got the genius types, the wealth lighthouse, this octopus effect to watch out for.
Right.
What else sets this book apart from the typical get-rich-quick advice?
One of the most refreshing things about the Millionaire Master Plan is how Hamilton tackles common misconceptions about wealth. Okay.
He debunks 5 modern myths that often hold people back.
Oh, myth busting. I love it.
So he challenges some widely held beliefs,
Right.
like the idea that wealth comes primarily from passive income, that you need multiple streams of income to get rich, that you should just follow your passion blindly, that being your own boss is the key to wealth, and that you need to risk it all to achieve financial success.
Wow, those are some pretty ingrained beliefs.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear how he dismantles them.
Well, he does it with logic, real-world examples, and even a bit of humor.
Okay.
It's a very engaging and insightful read.
So this is shaping up to be a very different kind of deep dive.
Yeah.
We've escaped infrared, navigated the early stages of financial growth,
Mm,
but what about the higher levels of this wealth lighthouse?
right.
What does real financial success look like according to Hamilton?
Well, that's where we move into the enterprise prism, starting with green level.
It's all about overcoming that octopus effect by establishing your enterprise, refining your rhythm, and synchronizing your steps.
Okay, let's break that down.
Sure.
What does it mean to establish your enterprise?
It's about building a team and creating systems that can function without your constant involvement.
Ah, okay.
Think of it like shifting from being the sole operator to a leader who empowers others.
So it's about building a sustainable structure, whether it's a business or an investment portfolio, that can thrive even if you step back.
Exactly. It's about moving beyond that solopreneur mentality and recognizing the power of collaboration and effective delegation.
And the book gives some examples of how this looks in practice.
Absolutely.
Go
From
through.
there, so he highlights the story of Scott Genius, who went from struggling with multiple businesses to building a multi-million-dollar enterprise by focusing on his strengths and building a strong team.
That's a great example of how moving beyond that do-it-all-yourself mindset can lead to bigger success.
Right, and that's just green level. From there, the journey continues to blue level, where you become the conductor.
The conductor. Tell me more.
At blue level, you've mastered the financial game.
Okay.
You understand balance sheets. You're trading cash for returns on investment and building a diversified portfolio.
So it's about thinking like an investor, focusing on long-term growth and making strategic financial decisions.
Precisely. And this is where he introduces the concept of triangulation,
Okay.
which is about connecting accounting principles with real-world examples to help you understand how money flows and how to make it work for you.
This is fascinating. We've gone from escaping debt and finding our flow to building a thriving enterprise and becoming a financial maestro.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more to this wealth lighthouse, right?
Right.
We're moving beyond traditional wealth creation
Yes, we are.
with what Hamilton calls the alchemy prism.
That's right. And this is where things get really inspiring.
Okay, now you got my attention.
The alchemy prism takes us beyond just building personal wealth and explores how to use it for social impact and shaping the world around you.
Tell me more about these higher levels.
Okay, so the alchemy prism starts with indigo level,
Right.
where you become a trustee.
A trustee.
Indigo trustees use their influence and resources for social impact, making a real difference in the world.
So it's about using your success to benefit others and create positive change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It showcases examples like Peter Diamandis, the founder of the X Prize, and Richard Branson, the entrepreneur behind Virgin Group, to illustrate how indigo trustees are putting their wealth to work for good.
These are people who have reached incredible levels of success
Yeah.
and are using their resources to tackle some of the world's biggest challenges.
It is inspiring, but it's not just about those big names and grand gestures.
Right.
It's about finding ways to contribute to causes you care about, no matter what your level of wealth is.
That's a good point. It's about that shift in mindset, recognizing that wealth isn't just about personal gain, but also the impact you can have on the world. Okay, so then we reach the pinnacle of the alchemy prism, the violet level,
Yes.
where you become a composer.
That's right.
We talked about this briefly before, but it still sounds pretty mysterious.
Okay, so think of it like this. At the lower levels of the wealth lighthouse, you're playing the game according to the existing rules.
Okay.
But at violet level, you're rewriting the rules.
Wow.
You're shaping entire systems and industries, influencing policies, and creating lasting change that impacts millions of people.
Wow. We've gone from escaping debt and building a business to actually shaping the future.
I know, it's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. And while not everyone will reach that violet level,
Right.
we can all strive to make a positive impact no matter where we are on our journey.
Exactly. And the book offers practical advice for how to make that happen. How to identify your values, discover your purpose, and align your actions with your goals.
This has been such an incredible overview. We've explored the foundations of wealth creation, the power of our natural genius, the importance of building a strong team, and the transformative potential of aligning our wealth with our values. It's been inspiring, to say the least.
It has been, and the Millionaire Master Plan offers so much more than we could possibly cover here.
I bet.
It's packed with insights, strategies, and real-world examples that can help anyone create a life of financial freedom and fulfillment.
And beyond just financial success, it's about finding that deeper sense of purpose and using your resources to make a positive impact on the world.
Absolutely. It's about redefining what it means to be successful and recognizing that true wealth encompasses a lot more than just money.
This has been incredible, but we've only scratched the surface.
I know there's so much more to explore.
We'll delve deeper into each level of the Wealth Lighthouse.
Yeah.
The strategies for each genius type and all those myth-busting insights from Hamilton.
We will.
I'm already hooked, and I bet our listeners are too.
I hope so. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Millionaire Master Plan.
Glad to be back.
We're going to unpack those 4 genius types in a bit more detail
Okay.
and really see how they navigate Hamilton's Wealth Lighthouse.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay.
Last time we touched on those 4 genius types: Dynamo, Blaze, Tempo, and Steel.
Right?
Can you give me a quick rundown of each one?
Yeah, so think of these types as your natural strengths, the
Yeah.
things that come easily to you and that you might even take for granted.
Gotcha.
So dynamos are the innovators,
Okay.
always boasting with new ideas and seeing opportunities where others see roadblocks.
Interesting.
Blazes are the connectors, the natural networkers.
Mm-hmm.
They thrive on building relationships and bringing people together.
Okay.
Tempos are the steady and reliable ones, the masters of systems and processes
Gotcha.
who find comfort in routine and consistency.
Yeah, makes sense.
And finally, steels are the analytical thinkers, detail-oriented and precise,
Okay.
with a deep desire to understand how things work.
So how do those strengths translate into financial success? How does each genius type approach building wealth?
Right. So that's where the Wealth Lighthouse comes in.
Okay.
Let's start with the dynamo.
Okay.
Imagine them at the base of the lighthouse, looking up at this daunting climb.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to plan out every single step.
Right.
Instead, they're probably going to start brainstorming ways to reach the top faster.
Of course.
Maybe even invent a jetpack or design a whole new lighthouse.
They would.
Their winning formula is creativity and action.
Okay.
They see that big picture, and they're not afraid to shake things up.
So how do they avoid getting sidetracked by all those exciting new ideas?
That's a great question, and that's where the challenge lies for dynamos. They need to find a balance between their innovative spirit and the discipline it takes to see projects through to completion.
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton really emphasizes systems and delegation for dynamos. It's about channeling that creative energy effectively and building a team that can handle the day-to-day operations while they focus on the big picture.
So it's about harnessing all that energy and directing it in a way that actually gets results.
Exactly.
Okay, what about the Blaze genius? How do they approach this climb?
So think of the Blaze as the ultimate collaborator.
Okay.
As they climb the Wealth Lighthouse, they're constantly building relationships and making connections,
Right.
looking for partnerships and opportunities to really leverage their network. They might even organize a group climb, invite experts to share tips, maybe even turn the whole thing into a massive networking event.
That's a very Blaze approach.
Right.
But with all that networking, how do they stay focused on their own financial goals?
Right. So for the Blaze, the key is to be strategic with those connections.
Okay.
It's about quality over quantity. They really need to make sure that they're building relationships with people who align with their values and their long-term goals.
Right.
People who can genuinely support their climb.
Yeah, it's got to be more than just a transaction.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to the Tempo genius.
Oh, right.
I feel like they would be the most organized climbers on this Wealth Lighthouse.
Absolutely. The Tempo thrives on routine and consistency.
Yeah.
They'd probably have a detailed plan for each stage of the climb.
Oh, for sure.
With checklists and schedules, backup plans for every contingency.
Totally.
Maybe even offer their organizational skills to other climbers.
They wouldn't.
And just create this system for a smooth and efficient ascent.
I can totally see a Tempo making sure everyone gets to the top on time with minimal stress.
Right.
But are there any downsides to that?
Well, tempos can sometimes get so caught up in the details that they lose sight of the big picture.
Okay.
They might become so focused on perfecting each individual step that they miss opportunities for innovation or collaboration.
I can see that happening.
So Hamilton encourages tempos to embrace a little flexibility and be adaptable to new ideas and to be willing to adjust their plans when necessary.
So it's about that balance between structure and spontaneity,
Yeah.
between planning and being open to new possibilities.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that all of the genius types can learn from each other.
Right.
The dynamo can learn from the tempo's organizational skills, and the tempo can learn from the dynamo's willingness to embrace new ideas.
Okay, finally, let's talk about that steel genius. How do they approach this climb?
So picture the steel meticulously researching every single aspect of the Wealth Lighthouse before even setting foot on the first step.
Okay.
Studying the architecture, analyzing weather patterns,
Wow.
calculating the optimal route,
Charles.
and just creating this foolproof plan for success.
So are they going to get stuck in the planning stage?
Well, that's the thing. Steels can sometimes fall into analysis paralysis,
Yeah.
overthinking every detail and delaying action.
Right.
So Hamilton encourages steels to embrace calculated risks and trust their instincts a little bit. It's about finding that balance between meticulous planning and decisive action.
Right. So it seems like each genius type has its own strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
So how do we navigate those?
Well, first, it's important to remember that no one genius type is better than another.
True.
They all have their own path to success.
Okay.
The key is to understand your own genius and then really leverage its strengths while mitigating those potential weaknesses.
So for example, if I'm a tempo, I should focus on my organizational skills and systems building abilities, but also make sure that I'm open to new ideas
Right.
and willing to step outside of that comfort zone.
Exactly. And that's where collaboration comes in.
Okay.
Hamilton emphasizes that the most successful teams are those that include a diverse mix of genius types.
So it's not just about knowing your own genius. It's about recognizing the strengths of others
Yeah,
and then learning to work together.
exactly. It's about building a team that can complement your strengths and help you reach your goals faster and with less struggle.
This has been really insightful.
Good.
It's amazing how Hamilton takes these complex concepts and breaks them down into these relatable, actionable steps.
I think he does a great job of making that journey up the Wealth Lighthouse feel achievable,
Yeah.
no matter where you're starting from or what your natural strengths are.
And I love how he encourages collaboration and recognizes the value of all those different perspectives.
Right. It's not about competition.
Right.
It's about working together to create a better future.
That's a powerful message.
It is, and it resonates throughout the whole book.
But we're just getting started though, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's next?
Next, we're going to delve deeper into those higher levels of the Wealth Lighthouse.
Okay.
Exploring how to move beyond just personal financial success and into social impact and legacy building.
Can't wait to explore that. This has already been such an awesome journey.
It has.
Okay, so we're back.
We are.
Ready to tackle the upper levels of the Wealth Lighthouse.
Let's do it.
Last time we explored how the different genius types approach wealth creation.
Right.
But now I'm curious about what Hamilton calls the alchemy prism. Sounds like we're moving beyond just personal financial gain here.
We are. The alchemy prism is where things get really interesting.
Right.
It's about using your wealth and your influence for something greater than yourself, for social impact, for shaping the world around you.
So we touched on indigo and violet levels briefly.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on those?
Of course. So indigo level is where you become a trustee.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that wealth comes with a responsibility to give back and make a positive impact.
So it's about taking that financial success that you've achieved and leveraging it to make a real difference.
Exactly. It's about aligning your wealth with your values. And he gives some pretty inspiring examples of indigo trustees in action.
Okay.
People like Peter Diamandis, the founder of the X Prize,
Oh, yeah, I know him.
which incentivizes breakthroughs in things like space exploration and sustainability.
Yeah.
And then you've got Richard Branson, the entrepreneur behind Virgin Group, known for his ventures in everything from airlines to space travel and his commitment to social and environmental causes.
Those are some pretty high-profile examples.
They are.
It's amazing to see how wealth can be used as a tool for positive change on such a large scale.
It is, but it's not just about the big names and the grand gestures.
Right.
It's about finding ways to contribute to causes that you care about, no matter how much wealth you have.
That's a good point. It's about that shift in mindset, recognizing that wealth isn't just about personal gain, but also about the impact you can have on the world.
Right.
And then we reach the pinnacle of the alchemy prism, the violet level, where you become a composer.
You got it.
So we talked about this a little before, but it still sounds kind of mysterious.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean to be a composer in this context?
Think of it like this. At the lower levels of the wealth lighthouse, you're playing the game according to the existing rules. Whoa. But at violet level, you're rewriting the rules. You're shaping entire systems and industries, influencing policies, and creating lasting change that impacts millions of people.
Wow. We've gone from escaping debt and building a business to actually shaping the future.
I know, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is. And while not everyone will reach that violet level,
Right.
we can all strive to make a positive impact no matter where we are on our own journey.
Absolutely.
I like that.
And the book really does a good job of offering practical advice for how to make that happen.
Okay.
How to identify your values, discover your purpose, and align your actions with your goals.
This has been such an awesome deep dive.
It has.
We've explored the foundations of wealth creation, the power of our natural genius, the importance of building a strong team, and the transformative potential of aligning our wealth with our values. Inspiring, to say the least.
It is, and the Millionaire Master Plan offers so much more than we could cover here.
Yeah, I bet.
It's a book packed with insights, strategies, and real-world examples that can help anyone create a life of financial freedom and fulfillment.
And beyond just financial success, it's about finding that deeper sense of purpose and using your resources to make a positive impact on the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about redefining what it means to be successful and recognizing that true wealth is about so much more than just money.
So what's the one key takeaway you hope our listeners walk away with?
That they have the power to create the life that they want, to achieve financial freedom, and to make a real difference in the world. The Millionaire Master Plan provides a roadmap for that journey, and it all starts with understanding your own unique genius and taking that first step.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
So on that note, we encourage our listeners to pick up a copy of the Millionaire Master Plan.
Yeah.
Embark on their own journey up the wealth lighthouse.
Absolutely.
You never know what you might discover about yourself and the impact you can make.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive.
It was a pleasure.
And remember, the path to true wealth is paved with purpose, passion, and a commitment to creating a better future.